Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you a movie review. This time I'm going to be talking about Deadpool, which was released just this past month. Me and my girlfriend went to see it in theaters for a special Valentine's Day movie.
Yeah.
Really fits in with a lot of our other date movies. I mean, Get Hard, Goosebumps, things like that. Quite the variety. Now Deadpool, which is a thing very, very itself and nothing else.
Well, it's a sign we're very untraditional in our relationship. We don't go and see girly chick flicks or romantic comedies.
This was kind of a romantic comedy.
In a way, but it had a different entity in itself. It was badass Deadpool kicking major ass, blowing off some heads. Fun stuff.
And we'll get more into the specific points of the movie in a minute, but I was also looking at the Wikipedia page, and I noticed one thing critics would say about it is they loved every other part of it, but the story was formulaic. And the thing about that is that even the things that did seem a little bit more normal or run-of-the-mill in the movie, they knew that.
Well, yeah, and they kind of upped the ante with it a little bit too, with the whole fourth wall stuff. It kind of added a different spin to it, and then of course the raunchy adult humor.
Yeah.
It didn't. It was kind of formulaic in its own ways, but it had its own little perks about it, too.
So, really, I think even when it comes to that stuff, they know it's there. It's not like a flaw in the writers.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they know that's what's going on, and they run with it, and they take something that's so formulaic and make it in ways that much better. And
it really shows in the opening credits.
Oh,
they know they have certain stereotypes with these characters in the movie.
Oh god, that was great.
I forget the terms they used for all of them, but I know Ryan Reynolds is like the God's douchebag gift or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It was some really weird stuff. And then
the girl who played Negasonic Teenage Warhead, she was the moody teen. Colossus was a CGI character.
Yep.
And things like that.
It was fantastic. I love that whole opening credits scene, and it was this slow motion of it's like a scene you've kind of seen before in the trailers, but just adding all of that stuff to it, it just was so funny. Well, it was so worth it.
That intro and all those little animations as they were going through the cast.
Yeah, and then
it was really unique when they showed a People magazine cover with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah, that was great.
And things we've seen a lot, like Deadpool jacking off a unicorn.
See, now I wasn't expecting that. So in the end credits, you just see him just come prancing on this unicorn, and all of a sudden starts jacking off its horn, and I'm like, no, back away, no.
Yeah, the unicorn looks really pleased, and eventually it, releases rainbows and stuff.
Sparkles.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really weird, but anyway, it's inappropriate humor-wise, so it's kind of you have to go in knowing.
And as far as parents go with their kids to this movie.
Yeah, it's parents. I've seen parents constantly complain about oh yeah, I took my 7-year-old kid to see Deadpool, and now I'm upset with the company because they created this film that my child can't see. And I'm like, well, you know what? It's your own damn fault for bringing that child to the movie, knowing it's rated R, and knowing what most likely you're getting into. If you see the red band trailers enough, okay, I probably shouldn't bring my child to this.
If you really care that much, why wouldn't you know that?
Yeah, exactly, and that's just something that would just make me so frustrated, because I would see, even on Facebook, I've seen a few people petitioning to have PG-13 versions of it, that's so their kids can go and see it. I'm just well, you're not in charge of the movie, and if you're stupid enough to bring your how-many-year-old child to see the film, and they start picking up on this raunchy humor and bringing it to school, it's your own damn fault. It's not the movie's.
Yeah. You took them to what this movie is. It's what the movie is. It's not trying to be something for everyone. They took the character from the comic books, they took his story, and they put it on screen.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a very, raunchy comic in the first place. So it's what you're going to get on screen. They're not going to dumb it down so everyone can watch it. They wanted to be, Deadpool wanted to be something different, something that was seen outside of the normal superhero films.
Well, Deadpool's super, but he's not a hero.
True. I don't know, he's more a super asshole. Yeah. Fly away.
Doesn't he get shot in his ass?
Yes, he does. Yeah. Yes, he does. Right up Main Street. Why do I remember that?
I remembered it too.
of all the things I remember, it's that.
There's a lot of this movie that's going to stick with you for a while.
It's like a lot of the humor, like when he, like you've seen it in like the trailers and stuff like that, but when he goes to see his friend at the bar and then he's talking about what his face looks like now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we didn't even say how much we liked it overall yet.
No.
We usually open with that.
We usually do, but we
I usually go
aim for the controversies first.
Yeah, I usually go, and overall?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was pretty good overall.
Well, I honestly really enjoyed it. Like, I had high-ish expectations going in, and for me, it felt like it kind of exceeded that. So, like, with me, I knew going in, okay, there's going to be a lot of adult humor, probably frontal nudity of women. You might see a man part now and again, but, like, overall, I was just thinking that, okay, it was just going to be, like, this raunchy-ass comedy, and there's nothing I can do about it. Then going in, though, and finally seeing it, it felt so different.
Yeah. And also, it doesn't really, like, when we were talking about the parent thing.
Yeah.
And, the cursing, there really wasn't an over amount of
it wasn't
cursing.
an overabundance of it.
Really, the main thing that makes it an R rating is the violence and the style of humor they go for. And it's not like they get really, like, overly mature and have to say, like, the F word every sentence or something
exactly.
like that.
And that's why, like, when I went into it, I kept thinking, oh, yeah, it's going to be like this. They're going to have a cuss word every, like, few little words or few sentences. But with this, it was, in ways, the cussing was paced out really well.
It still felt natural while still being true to the character.
Exactly. It still felt like the times where it was said, especially by Deadpool, it felt like it was, in ways, necessary for what was going on.
Yeah.
Or, like, when he was in the air chamber or whatever, and he finally just gets really pissed off at the end with the guy who put him in that.
Ajax,
Yeah. Well, after he got this huge mutation and everything, and finally just cusses out the guy who did it. It's like, it made sense for that. It wasn't just Deadpool being Deadpool. It was this just very distraught part of him. It was just like, okay, I'm not this beautiful guy anymore. I look like shit.
And that's another credit I'll give to the movie. Deadpool rarely takes anything seriously.
Yeah, he rarely does.
But there are moments where you see that, he's still a character, he still feels.
Yeah, exactly. He's not like this just asshole who doesn't feel anything.
His psyche's getting really twisted now. It's getting even more screwed up left and right and stuff. But really, there's a part of him that still cares whether he wants to admit it or not, how he goes about it or not, And the romantic part of this movie actually wasn't bad.
Yeah, it didn't really feel forced either. It felt like something, almost in ways you were growing with, even though it was just like one, like, you kind of tell it was like one sex scene right after another. Like, every holiday it'd be like mid-sex, like, oh yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Happy Chinese New Year.
Happy Thanksgiving, mashed potatoes, lower letters.
Yeah. But, like, even through that, even though it was just, like, raunchy adult humor in itself, you felt like you were kind of growing with their relationship of getting to, I guess, accept it a lot more. I really, really liked that about it.
Yeah. Okay, I can't pronounce the actress's name, but the actress who played Vanessa.
Oh, yeah.
She's in Gotham right now as Dr. Tompkins. She did a good job in this movie. Of course, she gets captured and taken hostage at some point, but she's not like the typical love interest. She's not like your Natalie Portman in the Thor movies. She had this attitude about her herself that made her and Wade Wilson's relationship believable.
Well, and she wasn't like that damsel in distress either. It's like she was still trying to kick ass as much as she could.
She actually got out of that little chamber thing at the end by herself.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't like she was depending on a man to save the day.
Deadpool threw the sword into it so she could breathe, but then she got out of the thing herself, too.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, she was willing to get all bloody and cut up in order to save herself instead of waiting for Deadpool to do it for her.
At the reunion, it wasn't, like, all beautiful or anything. It was their own thing.
Oh, it was great. And then... Yeah, because wasn't Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, and the other... Colossus. They were standing there, too, like, mid-sexual conversation between them.
It was creepy that they were still there, though.
I know! I was like, okay, they're having, like, this intimate, very sexual moment, and then all of a sudden it just pans over to them, and I'm like, why the hell are you guys still here? They're talking all sexy-like. You should probably leave.
And I gotta say, I actually really liked Colossus in this movie too. At first, I was a little worried about it because sometimes he comes off like a stiff character to me in other versions, but stiff.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of something else in the movie.
Anyway, but in this, they gave him a really good personality. You know, he was meant to be sort of like this more stoic character, especially in contrast to Deadpool, but he had moments where he was a pretty oddball himself, too, I think. But.
Oh, yeah, like when that... what's her name? The one girl who was beating him up. Crap.
Oh, that's what Wikipedia is for. Yeah, okay.
Angel Dust, is that it?
Yes.
Yeah, so when Angel Dust is, like, beating the crap out of him, he ends up fighting back, and I guess at one point part of her shirt kind of, like, rips off, and it's just all boob exposure.
And he was being all gentleman, trying to get
really funny.
Tell her to cover it up.
And she's like, oh, how sweet, and then continues to beat the shit out of him. I'm just like, okay, he's just, like, this awkward duckling in the group. I love him.
I love how he had a Russian accent, too.
Well, it didn't feel like a fake or forced Russian accent either.
Well,
At least to me, anyway.
I think the guy who voiced him, the character is actually all CGI, I think.
Yeah, he was.
But the guy who voiced him, I think, is actually Russian.
See? And they did good.
I might be wrong about that, but either way, it was fine. So, I like that.
Well, the CGI for him, though, too, didn't look bad. Like, it felt like it kind of blended in with everything else really well. So you could tell, kind of, just like as a viewer, that, oh, yeah, this character's CGI. This isn't something that's, I don't know, practical effects or anything like that. But it worked out really well, and I really did appreciate that.
And, I also loved we actually got to see the X mansion in this movie, Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters.
Oh, yep.
Deadpool made a great joke about why are there only 2 of the X-Men there every time he goes there.
Yeah.
Basically because they couldn't afford another character.
Yeah, so he made just a big crack on that. And then...
It's all they could get.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, he made a joke some point about, like, the confusion of who was running the place?
Yeah. Because, of course, there's Patrick Stewart. He plays the older version of Charles Xavier in the movies. Yeah. And there's McAvoy. He plays him in, like, the first class Days of Future Past thing.
Deadpool and stuff, like,
Colossus was taking him to the mansion. He's like, Stewart and McAvoy, he said the timelines are so confusing now.
Yeah, that was great. I loved that. And, like, with me, I didn't pick up on that at first. And then, like, after I just kind of, like, sat down and tried to process everything, I'm like, oh, my God, They made a joke about that. That's great.
Yeah. And that's something else I wanted to talk about. I've watched a lot of Marvel movies. So I'm pretty familiar with how some of these things go, but she's honestly not too big on Marvel movies.
No, I'm not. Sorry.
But, she dislikes Thor.
Very much.
But that's because she has some very obsessed friends who obsess over Loki, so that kind of tarnished her view on it.
Yeah, that was... hell.
But, I've shown her ones like The Punisher.
Oh, God, I love The Punisher.
And I think I want to give her some fresh eyes and some of the other ones sometime. I want to show her Man of Steel, which I think was a great film. I want to take her through the Dark Knight movies.
Yeah, like those, you see, but those aren't Marvel themselves, though. Those are DC, so
I know, but still,
different atmosphere.
Still talking about, superhero movies in general. Yeah. But, she loved it despite that, and me, so we got 2 different perspectives here. I've seen all of them that came out so far. And... for me, I actually love Thor. Chris Hemsworth, made the character for me. Actually, made me like the character more.
So it's like with me, I felt like he did it well, but it was just with me just coming into the movie just with his bad persona of it anyways. Yeah. From a friend of mine who's just pure Loki fan, very much obsessed, has a huge standee of him and dresses him up for Christmas.
There's worse stories than that, too.
Yeah, true, but still. It's just like she was very much, and still is, very obsessed about it. Yeah. And with me, it was constantly just hearing, oh, Loki this, Loki that. Oh, he's now doing this movie, too. And it just, after a while, I just didn't care. I'm like, okay, so if you're this obsessed about it, maybe I shouldn't see the movie, because I feel like I'll fuel the fire more for you.
And, for me, I went into it, liking the character already, and I think Hemsworth is still perfect in the role. So I love the first Thor movie. I even like The Dark World. But for me, also compared to Deadpool, is really difficult because there are 2 different types of superhero movies in and of themselves. So you can't really compare me, kind of just got to take them as one thing.
So you're just 2 different complete until entities in themselves. like with Deadpool, he knows what he is. He knows he's just this sarcastic smartass, breaks the fourth wall all the time to the point where he even broke the 16th wall, as he said.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah, I know we're going to forget a lot of jokes that we would have wanted to mention.
Yeah.
But at one point, that same moment where Colossus is trying to take Deadpool to the X-Mansion.
Doesn't he kick him?
First he tries to kick him.
Oh, yeah.
He breaks both his feet, or his ankles, whatever they were.
Both his wrists.
Yeah, wrists. And then he tries to go for a cock shot. And then he breaks his wrists, like you said. And probably.
He broke his ankle when he did that.
Yeah, the kick. And then.
Yeah, the kick is when he went for the whole cock shot.
And then once Colossus gets him that handcuff type of thing, he's dragging him along, Deadpool literally cuts his own hand off.
Yeah.
And then it starts going back, and eventually it goes into, like, this little baby hand thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you really got to see the regeneration process in this movie.
That was so funny, and he's just, like, stroking the head of the blind lady that he lives with.
Yeah. She was good in the movie, too.
She was funny.
I could see why they would live together.
Uh-huh. Well, then he ended up telling her that there was a whole bunch of, like, didn't you say it was, like, cocaine and then the cure for blindness in the basement?
Yeah.
That was great. I'm sorry.
I also want to mention the Stan Lee cameo in this movie.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That was the best. I was not expecting that. And then all of a sudden, wait, that's Stan Lee?
A couple scenes at a strip club when he's trying to go and find Vanessa. Stan Lee's the DJ.
He's the DJ at the freaking strip club. So there's just women going around with their vaginas hanging out, and he's just like, "Hi, I'm Stan Lee."
He probably had a good time filming this one.
Yes. He's got game, too, for a 90-year-old guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He can still get the ladies.
Yeah. And we need to talk about Hugh Jackman, too.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He wasn't in the movie directly, which I'll admit I was a little disappointed by. I was hoping to see some Wolverine, Deadpool quick banter or something.
But it was just kind of nice that he was mentioned, though.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was left out entirely.
And, they had a cover of him on a magazine saying he was the sexiest man alive.
Oh, yeah!
And then at the end where Deadpool finally shows his face to Vanessa, we're jumping around a lot. Yeah, but really, we can just have fun talking about with this type of thing. But he basically cut out Hugh Jackman's face in a magazine and, like, plastered it onto his own.
He stapled it onto his face. I'm like, ouch. I understand you can't really, like, feel pain anymore, but... Ow!
I was expecting something once she took off the initial mask, but I didn't think that
was going to be that Hugh Jackman face, which... That was great. I wasn't expecting that, and I think I busted a gut just seeing that.
Yeah. And speaking of Hugh Jackman, we'll kind of use that as a segue.
Yeah.
This is opening doors to other characters that should have rated R films, you know. Like we just heard recently, it sounds like the last Wolverine movie is going to be rated R now.
Which is kind of about time, though, too. So enough that I know about the whole Wolverine stuff, I felt like, even like the other movies, they needed a rated R version. They didn't need to just kind of dumb it down. Yeah.
And I've always liked Hugh Jackman's movies. X-Men Origins was okay. Wolverine, I actually thought Wolverine was pretty good. And it sounds like they're doing a version of the Old Man Logan storyline, so I'm excited about that. But I'm just happy I'll be able to see Wolverine, taking off some arms, some decapitations, maybe just tearing them in half, possibly.
Oh, because that's what Deadpool did. Yeah. It was a lot of slice and dice.
Yeah. And, I tell, like, my dad about it, and they seem a little bit sketchy with rated R films, but they have to understand that that's the character, What else is going to happen when he has adamantium claws sticking out of his hands and he fights people,
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are you going to expect? Like, flowers and butterflies just escaping from the wounds? Or are you expecting somebody to be sliced and diced and possible entrails being shown?
Yeah, and there's a difference between, like, overdoing it and... like, just showing what would actually be there.
Yeah, exactly. There's, like, one point of, like, making it realistic and another of just, like, making it completely over the top to where it's, like, those over-exaggerated, like, horror film levels.
Yeah. Well, that's a different conversation with that type of stuff.
Well, yeah, but still, it's just, like, with a lot of... Probably with Wolverine, they could make it that huge extreme. But I feel like if they do have it a rated R... Well, as rated R, I feel like they could probably do it well. Yeah. Especially just seeing, like, how well Deadpool has gone over. Especially with the amount of violence and lots of decapitation and stuff like that was prevalent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be. I can't wait for Wolverine now.
I still love the part though in Deadpool where he skewers the guy like a shish kebab and he's just hanging up there. And
it pauses there and then it cuts to like a flashback and then
it comes back to that. Yeah, it was. I'm sorry, that was just really fun. I liked that.
Yeah, the action in this was plentiful too. You know, there was plenty of blood. You know, there's plenty of good shots. You know, one bullet going through 3 heads and stuff.
Well, wasn't it the third guy like barely made it through? It was just kind of like sitting there.
Yeah. And then there's even a moment where he decapitates one guy and he punts his head into the other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was fun.
So it definitely delivers on that end, too. And, you know, the final fight between Deadpool and Ajax is really fun, too. You know, sword and axes and stuff. You know, it hits that action you want, too. So I was really happy with that.
It's really fun, and everything's just, like, going to shit anyways. It's like, helipad or whatever it is. It's just like falling apart. Things are falling everywhere, and this is great.
Something else too. The last thing that Ajax and Deadpool were fighting on, you know, where all like the climax took place. I'm not sure, but it looked an awful lot like the helicarrier.
Well, yeah, it's what I've been seeing too. I've been hearing people say that.
And
that's most likely what it is. Cause wasn't that?
I swear I've seen a report that actually confirmed it too.
Yeah, because wasn't it like the background of something in another movie?
Yeah, and then.
I can't remember what movie, though.
I haven't seen some of the Marvel films in a while, but I'm pretty sure one of them went down within the past few.
Yeah.
So that could be a pretty cool Easter egg, actually. And they mentioned Samuel L. Jackson in the credit scene anyway.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, we're already over 20 minutes right now.
Well, it's decided it was a good movie. We have a lot to say about it.
Let's see, is there anything else specifically that we're going to regret not mentioning?
Oh, the guy in the taxi.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't forget, because I've seen other people's reviews of this, and then in the comments I see people complain about, like, oh, why didn't you talk about that Indian guy in the taxi, and then all the stuff that happened with him, and I'm like, oh, well, we should talk about it.
Yeah. And when Colossus is in the taxi with Teenage Warhead, you know, he's telling, oh, yeah, you can't do this. You know, kill him.
Oh, yeah, I don't think we're explaining it right, but...
you guys know what we're talking about if you've seen the movie.
Yeah, exactly. If you've seen the movie, you know who we're talking about, and he's, like, such a minor character, but he possessed so much comic relief of where to the point where he took what Deadpool said the first time he met him and just blew it out of proportion, had the guy who he's basically been in a fight with for a lady's romantic affection, has him in the trunk of the taxi... So while they're going through to, like, this final fight scene, so it's Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, and Colossus in the back, all of a sudden you hear this guy screaming, and they're like, wait, what's that? And it was great.
You explained it better than I was going to.
Yeah, I did it!
I also did like Negasonic Teenage Warhead in the movie.
She was really funny.
Her power was really cool, too. I didn't know that much about the character going into it.
I didn't even know about her at all. I knew a slight bit about Colossus, but not her, though.
And I like the joke, Deadpool saying she looks like Ripley from Alien 3. I actually haven't seen that Alien film yet.
I understand it.
But I've seen plenty of pictures. You know, of course, Sigourney Weaver getting that shaved head type of thing in the later films. So I thought that was pretty much a nail right into that. So... oh yeah, also I wanted to talk about... there's something I just forgot.
I don't know. I can't read your mind.
Oh yeah.
Not that good.
When he kills Ajax at the end of the movie. Colossus...
Oh yeah,
Colossus gives him this huge speech about how he'll really be a hero, how there's so many chances to define who you are in life.
It's like 4 to 5 chances in life to like define yourself as a hero.
Colossus gives this grand speech, pretty well written, you know, well delivered. You know,
there's like a very good speech. And
inspirational music going along with it.
Yeah.
And right the whole time I knew Deadpool was just going to shoot the guy.
Yeah, I knew that too. And I was just like, I was like waiting on the edge of my seat for that to happen.
And boom. And you see Colossus vomit a little bit.
He was like projectile vomiting about that.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was really funny because it's kind of something like you would expect somebody to do if they saw somebody shot in the head. You expect them to vomit or something. And we get that from Colossus of all people.
Yeah. I actually hope we see this Colossus in the sequel.
God, I hope so.
I mean, we know that Cable is probably going to be a factor in the sequel.
So excited.
You know, of course, there's a credit scene of Deadpool in the bathroom and stuff.
Well,
like
except it's just like in Ray's Ferris Bueller. At the very end, after the credits of Ferris Bueller, he comes out and starts fourth-walling to the camera, saying, "Oh, you guys are still here? You should go.
Go home.
Go home."
Yeah. And he says, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have Cable in the sequel," and then he might be Dolph Lundgren or Keira Knightley.
And then he pops his head around the corner and does like that very end little bit from the end credits song of Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
And that made me so happy. You have no idea.
I'm still wondering who they're gonna cast as Cable though.
I really don't know.
I mean, I think Stephen Lang.
Yeah, because isn't he the one petitioning for it basically?
Yeah. I think Ray Stevenson would work. And then John Hamm, I could kind of see him too. I know you don't know that much about him, but I think they'll make a good choice for it. Like even Liam Neeson maybe, but we'll see.
Like I don't know. I feel like in ways
he's not my top pick. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just I feel like they need to do somebody different than we expected.
I just said Liam Neeson because there's like all this fan art out of him as
well, yeah, exactly. But I just feel like they should do somebody besides what people would expect.
Like people say Stephen Lang's too old, but he's in better shape than
he's
everyone younger than him.
He's fantastic. I was surprised. I'm like, oh, someone must have photoshopped that, and I kept looking through pictures, and I'm like, holy shit, that's real.
Yeah, he looked like that in Terra Nova too. You know.
That's really awesome, actually.
And I'm a fan of his work. What I've seen him in too, acting wise. And I like Ray Stevenson too. I like him on Black Sails right now. I like him on Dexter. And he was the least of Punisher Warzone's problems.
Yeah, exactly.
So I could see him being that square-jawed version of Cable and stuff. But I think they'll make the right choice, I think, either way.
I hope so.
Yeah. I think it'll work no matter who they choose. They'll find a way to write into it.
Yeah.
But, so those are overall our thoughts on Deadpool. I thought it really... Again, it's really hard to compare it to other Marvel movies or superhero movies we're supposed to take seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I could say, but I don't know if it beats Man of Steel for me or something, you know? But at the same time, this is a whole other category. I think it set a bar all of its own that no other film can actually touch because it's not what this is. And that is a huge compliment to how unique this is and what this did for comic book films in general, I think. So, any other closing thoughts besides that?
Nothing I can think of.
Marvel saw Deadpool, which I did a review on a while ago.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to see movie figures coming out. I'm surprised they haven't yet. But, yeah.
Thought we should bring them out. Whoops.
Yeah, we'll take care of that later.
Sword fell.
Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know what you thought about the movie. If you actually want to comment. If not, if you actually made it this far into the video, I don't know. I know Deadpool wouldn't. But yeah.
Yeah, he'd probably give up after like a minute.
But yeah, we just really enjoyed talking about the film. This is one of the longest reviews I've done in a long time.
Well, I think it's the longest review we've actually done together.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. Yeah. Like I had my Ginger Snaps review that like went over 40 minutes and stuff like that. And then I had like my favorite Walking Dead characters that went over 50. But
well, yeah, because you gave each time for each character.
Yeah,
but
anyway, just really enjoyed talking about the film and. To quote Jeremy Johns, this film is worth buying on Blu-ray. And definitely awesome-tacular, too, you know.
Yeah.
So, highly enjoyed it. We'll check it out, pick it up for my collection when it comes out. So
I might just have to pick it up for myself, though, too, like a secret buy, because, my family, you know.
I'm actually excited to see the covers for them, too, you know.
I am, too.
I know they'll probably be, like, really cool, like, special editions, too, or something, you know, so... That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So, alright, you guys can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Movie Pilot, and look for InSwallowDead.com. I'll catch you guys next time. And, peace.
Bye.
Fairy dust.
Fairy dust.
I'm touching myself tonight.